So there it is, the new stuff. You can see how light colored that is, and it's stuff that's already turning kind of a yellowish color. That's only been in here for maybe a week, week and a half, and we really haven't had any rain. I think we had one with a couple sprinkles, but it is drying so fast, it's incredible. Even some of the stuff I'm splitting, as I'm splitting it, I can tell that it's lighter than it should be. And I can just tell by feeling it, it's not as wet as it was when I first cut it and split it. It was juicy. And just laying out here for that week, it's already drying quite a bit. Now, I didn't do a moisture test on it or anything, but my guess is that if this was 35% moisture, now it's probably in the high 20s, and the stuff that's smaller is probably already in the mid 20s. It is drying so fast, it's just unreal. I've got like ideal drying conditions. Like I said, you can see the dandelions over there moving. It's always breezy here, and even when it's not sunny, you've got a hazy sun right now, and it's drying. It's just drying. So I gotta say, after just using the 17RS WOLFE RIDGE splitter, auto cycle, I can tell you this, if I was to ever buy another splitter, which someday will probably happen, it will have auto cycle no matter what. I don't think I would buy one without auto cycle now. That auto return is so nice. You saw when I was splitting there, I'm able to send it, let it go, grab another piece, or chuck the pieces into the bin. It just frees up your hands instead of having your hand on the lever all the time. And by yourself, this is definitely faster than a lot of the other machines I've used, even the Ultra. Now the Ultra, I think if you've got two guys, I think it's just as fast. Maybe even the Ultra might be a little faster, and that's only because you got two guys. So one guy is feeding, you're getting rid of rounds, bringing rounds in, and the other guy, all he does is just run the lever, and he's got a free hand, to move stuff around and throw it. But by yourself, this is faster. It just is. It's really nice. All right, so we got that first batch done. You can see right there, that's gone. We're gonna move everything down, and I'm gonna pick up all of these small kindling size pieces. Gonna throw it right into the tote, and then I'm gonna start splitting and just chuck that stuff into the bin. So got all this to get cleaned up now. So this is another benefit of a smaller splitter, something that doesn't weigh 2,000 pounds. This picks up, that's one arm. I can pick it up with one hand, and then to get it rolling, once you get the momentum going here, I'm just gonna grab a hold, and I'm kind of in a hole here, so here we go. But then I can, come on, get out of that rut. There we go. Once you get it going, if you're on hard ground, you can move right along. And I could have used the tractor, but this was not that hard. I'm going to come right around over here, I think. Look at that, a bladder full of kindling, and there's still a bunch more in here. There's probably going to end up being a couple bladders full. These are the small bladders, what are they, 225 or whatever, 275. They're smaller ones. And we got lots of these because Bert takes a lot of these out because a lot of people don't want the bladders. And he's just been giving them away to people that want them. And there's always a bunch of them here. So this is what I'm going to do, I think, from now on, is I'll just have some of these ready to go. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top open. This is just my idea. Tell me if you've got a better idea. I'd like to hear it. I'm going to cut the top open by starting like right here, cutting like slightly below all the way around. So I got a lip, and go all the way around over to that corner. So basically this piece right here would be a hinge, and then I can just tip it all the way up and then bring it back down, and then maybe I'll pull in the corners into the inside. So basically it becomes like a clamshell over the top of it. Maybe I'll take it so that just the clamshell is partially open so that it can be vented, because it'll cook in here just like a little kiln, I think. This stuff is already very dry. I know this would already burn. It just sounds dry when I'm handling it because it's so small. And I've also decided while I was doing this that from now on I'm going to have bladders, well, a bladder, right by the processor. So as we process, I can just throw the stuff right in. Anything that goes into the trailer, which will happen as we're processing, I will have a bladder out here. So as we're putting stuff off of the trailer into the elevator, we can put it right into the bladder, so less handling. I don't want to touch it anymore. This is already too much. like my good friends on AC/DC, a touch too much. Many touches too much. So I'm going to bring that splitter right over here, and I'm going to split this stuff and just kind of work my way through and get all the big stuff out, and then go back, get another bladder, and then pick up all the kindling again. So I'll have another bladder full probably. But I'm going to guess here, if I'm looking at that, just knowing volume of what's there, there's probably going to be 15 bundles of kindling. And if I can sell it for $5, $6, $8, $10 a bundle, I don't know. We'll find out. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to do bigger bundles, and I'm going to have them so they're probably like $6, and if they buy 3, they get a free one or something like that. I don't know. We'll figure out a number. We'll come up with something. Anyway, there we go. Let's get back to work. There we go. Right into the pile. That's where we want it. Look at what I have created. I got it all split. All the chunks are off the ground. Got a little bit of debris here to clean up. I filled this tote. You saw that. That one's full. That's the small one. Our bladder, I should say. And this bladder has that much in there, so maybe a third full. So I think it's going to be worth separating the kindling for sure. I'm not so sold on the idea of doing resplits all at once at the end like I did here, because this was 5 loads full. So it was almost a full cord, I think, that I resplit. There was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a full cord, I think, just from how long it took me and what I saw was on the ground. So I don't know if I just need to do a better job on resplits in the processor of watching it closer. If I had someone helping me split, they could then, or I could watch it closer, we could, you know, put the pieces back through and split them again. Some of them got away on me, I know that, when I was processing, because you can't do 5 things at once. You can do about 4.5 things, not real well, because you're cutting a log, dropping a log, splitting a log, you're watching the live deck, you're watching the infeed tray, you're watching this stuff go up the elevator, and sometimes stuff gets piled up and you don't see it, and that's how some of these bigger ones got in here. But so that is a grand total of, I think there's 6 trailer loads full in here. So we got that, what's in there. So starting right here is the hard maple. There was a little bit of some ash and some old stuff right here that I kind of stopped. But all this is now, it's the new hard maple that's in here. And for those of you that never heard of hard maple, it's rock maple, sugar maple, same stuff. There it is. All right, all I got to do now is go put my tote away, put the splitter away, and then come get this other tote and stuff it somewhere up over there. So that's what's going to happen next. So there it is. Tractor's put away. Totes are put where they need to be. I got this one out over here. I just stuck it over on this corner because I want to be able to get at it, obviously. And then the other one I put up over by the processor, and that way we can put in the new stuff that comes off the processor right into that. And I got this whole big project to do too. I got all the silver maple here to get cut and split. I got all these odd ones here to get cut and split. I got that to move. I got that to move. I've got all this oak that needs to be split up, this other tree service, that other tree service, all this debris to get cleaned up. There's always work to do. And then, if we get the new processor in a few weeks, we got all that wood to process. We got lots of it. So that's what's happening. Work on top of work with a slice of work. That's all I got for today, folks. I'll see you tomorrow morning, 5:30 a.m. I'll be here. You should be here. Good night, Irene.